The worst thing you could be is a drifter. And see, I don't mean someone who drifts in a car. I mean someone who drifts through life. Someone who goes through life without any goals, without any direction. They don't have anything that they're aiming towards. So essentially, they just drift through life. It's like they're zigzagging. It's like they're a feather and they're at mercy of wind. Wherever the wind is going, that feather will go to. That is what a drifter is. And you know, at the end of a drifter's life, they always feel unsatisfied. Because it's only at the end of your life that you recognize that, you know what, I only had one shot. And I didn't use this life to my fullest capability. So they die unsatisfied. They died with regret. And no one should die like that. No one should have that type of revelation on their deathbed. And I know for a fact that you don't want that. We only have one life. We don't get another. So you might as well spend this life reaching your fullest potential. You might as well spend this life working relentlessly. You might as well spend this life valuing things that actually matter. Everything that I'm going to talk about in this video comes from a book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. You should definitely read that book. That is a 10 out of 10 book. That is a book that I'll probably reread like 20 times over the course of my life. So we have to define what a drifter is. Because a drifter is the worst thing you could be. So you need to know what the worst thing you can be is so that you can avoid that. So drifters, the first thing I said earlier in the video is that a drifter is someone who has no life goals. They have nothing that they are chasing after. Yes, drifters may have like the desire to be rich. Well, not even the desire. They may have the wish to be rich. They may like daydream about a more successful life, but they never set a definite goal. And that is it. They never have definite aims in life. They're always drifting from one place to another. Drifters never accomplish anything that requires thought and action simply because they don't have goals. So if you don't have goals, you'll never accomplish anything that requires great thought and action. Another thing that drifters do is they always take the path of least resistance. So whenever they're given a task, they'll always try to find the easy way to do it. They'll always try to find the way to do it as soon as possible. These people, they like initiative, they like enthusiasm, so they'll never do something unless they're told to do it. So these are the people that need to have a boss because they can't tell themselves to work. They can't get themselves to initiate something. It always has to be someone else. Another thing that these people have is opinions on everything but accurate knowledge on nothing. So these are the people who, whenever something's going on, you'll see them posting on social media giving their opinions. But if you have a deep conversation with them, you'll find that there's no substance to those opinions. They just regurgitated from their favorite social media influencer. Drifters begin many things. So there'll be these people that will start like 10 businesses, but then they'll complete none. They'll stick with none. That's because they never have definite aims. So if you never have a definite aim, it's very hard to stick with something. Another thing that drifters are is they're not firm in their beliefs. So they never reach decisions. And if they do reach a decision, they'll change it quickly as soon as they feel a bit of opposition. So let's say they have an opinion that, you know what, being fat isn't good. When they're confronted with people who say, being fat is good, they'll change that thing. They'll change that opinion straight away. I think the most common thing that drifters do is they'll always criticize people who are successful in their chosen calling. So they will be the critics. There will be the critics in the stands and they'll be criticizing the person in the arena. The person who has the courage to do the thing that they wish they could do. But they'll be the ones criticizing them for playing bad when they don't even have the courage to do it. They don't have the work ethic to do any of that. There's many more things that a drifter can be described as, but I'm not going to give all of them. The ones that I've given are the most important ones. And you may find that as I was detailing what a drifter is, you may find that you probably felt attacked. You'd be thinking that, this sounds a bit too similar. Maybe I was talking about you. See, and the truth is, if we don't decide to be a non-drifter, if we don't decide to have definite aims in our life, we will, by default, be drifters. So since you want to achieve a lot in your life, you have to decide to be a non-drifter. And you see, all the successful people, all of them are non-drifters. If you want to be successful, you need to be a non-drifter. Success and drifting cannot go together in the same sentence. You can't be drifting in your life and be successful. You may stumble on success, but you'll never be able to maintain it because you are a drifter. The life you want will come from assuming the identity of a non-drifter. So, to describe a non-drifter is someone who always, and I mean always, has a definite goal in life or a definite aim and they are working relentlessly towards that aim. That aim doesn't always have to be financial. It could just be like, I want to be the best father ever and I need to improve my humility, I need to improve this. But they always have an aim that they're working towards. So these people are always engaged doing something definite through a well-organized plan, and that is essential, a well-organized plan. Non-drifters are initiators. They'll be found up front, whether it's in a war, whether it's in a game, whether it's in the business. They'll be the people who are initiating. They'll be the people who start things. They'll be the people who are leading because they're initiators. These people are generous. They extend many favors, but they're reluctant to accept. So they love to give, not necessarily to take. They love giving more than receiving. Another key thing that non-drifters do is they never blame others for their mistakes. They always assume full responsibility, even when they shouldn't take responsibility. What this does is it forces them to improve themselves in any possible way to make the situation better. So you'll never find a non-drifter saying things like, I failed because of the economic situation, I failed because of that. They'll probably say, if they failed, they'll say, I failed because I wasn't good enough, or I failed because I didn't do this. They always assume full responsibility. 9 times out of 10, right, non-drifters, they're the ones who have the biggest house. They're the ones who drive the most fancy car. They're the ones who have the most beautiful wife. Non-drifters are the winners in life. Non-drifters are the people who we wish to be. And you can be a non-drifter starting today. It doesn't have to be some 30-year process. You can literally say that starting from now, I'm going to be a non-drifter. Starting from now, I'm going to always have a definite goal that I'm striving towards. It's not going to take 20 years to become a non-drifter. It will take 2 seconds. And in that 2 seconds, all you need to do is choose to be a non-drifter. All you need to do is to decide in your heart that you're tired of being a drifter and that you belong with non-drifters. But as you can see from both descriptions, there's a day and night difference between the two. The only way to success is to be a non-drifter, and you need to choose now. Drifter or non-drifter. Mediocre or exceptional. The choice is yours. And that choice will make all the difference in your life.